standpoint.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top stories in our country and the world at large on Foca Online TV.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Focal Online TV. Welcome to the daily edition of Inside the Print Media this morning with your presenter, Greg College Farm. Of course, Focal Online TV is located within the Togo Village community along the Japanese freeway. So we encourage you to kindly make use of our live stream, kindly share our video, and comment in our comment sections as it relates to the top news headlines relating to our country, Liberia, and that of the world at large. This morning, we have varieties of newspapers in studio. We have the Front Page African newspaper, the Daily Observer newspaper, the New Dawn newspaper, and the Hot Pepper newspaper. Firstly, we will look at the Daily Observer newspaper. What is in the print this morning from Daily Observer newspaper? Molu returns to mainstream advocacy. Molu returns to mainstream advocacy. AfriBank to help enhance Liberia development. CBL AfriLand First Bank pen MOU for currency exchange. CBL, that is the Central Bank of Liberia. AfriLand Bank First Bank pen MOU for currency exchange. This is from Daily Observer newspaper. Quickly, what is in the print this morning from the New Dawn newspaper? What is in the print this morning from the New Dawn newspaper? Australian expertise in renewable energy could benefit Africa, says African Development Bank's Vice President Marie-Laurie Akon Oluwedi. Australian expertise in renewable energy could benefit Africa, says Africa Development Bank's Vice President Marie Laurie Akin Olubedi. This is interesting from the New Dawn newspaper. This is what is in the print this morning. Government rebukes WIA. Government rebukes WIA. This is from the New Dawn newspaper. What is in the print this morning from the Front Page African newspaper? Let's dive straight to the Front Page African newspaper. What is in the print this morning from Front Page African newspaper? Senator Michael questioned attempt by executive to expend US 90 million outside of budget approval. World Bank's latest report unveils 3.5 million Liberians live in poverty. This is interesting. This is interesting. World Bank's latest report unveils 3.5 million Liberians live in poverty. Senator Michael questions attempt by executive to expend US 19 million outside of budget approval. This is from the Front Page African newspaper. Lastly, we want to know what is in the print this morning from the Hot Pepper newspaper. Of course, you know, Hot Pepper brings to you the vibes of our country, Liberia, and it's an informative platform that encourage us to continue to read our country news daily. So Hot Pepper newspaper is here to give us one of the important updates of our country, Liberia. What is in the print this morning from the Hot Pepper newspaper? If you are watching me, I love to say thank you for joining me this morning on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. This is where we bring innovation to broadcasting. Thanks for joining us this morning. Hot Pepper newspaper. Sister Aid Liberia. This is from Hot Pepper newspaper. Sister Aid Liberia hosts one-day media engagement training. Sister Aid Liberia hosts one-day media engagement training. This is from the Hot Pepper newspaper. And CDC, not an entire institution or social club. Political leader Wia tells new chairman Cool. This is interesting as well. So let's take a short break, folks. When we get back, I fill you in on the details relating to our news headlines. Thanks for joining us this morning. Happy Wednesday to all of you watching. If you are celebrating your birthday today, I say happy birthday to you. If you are celebrating your wedding anniversary, congratulations and happy wedding anniversary to you. This is how I take a short break. My name is Webina Karishpa. I'm going to be right back with the news in details, beginning from the Daily Observer newspaper. Please stay with me as I will be right back shortly.
Hello, dear. My name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello, Gilly Nontopa. My name is Finan Korishpa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Tobo village community along the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
Wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you.
Okay, welcome back to the daily edition of Inside the Print Media with your presenter Greg Courage Park. Daily Observer newspaper. Molu returns to mainstream advocacy. Molu returns to mainstream advocacy. Former Coalition for Democratic Change (CDC) chairman Moba Molu became famous as an advocate, and after nearly 2 decades of absence in mainstream advocacy, the man is right back where he belongs, even more than spurted. He is making a strong comeback after his not too successful venture into the realm of politics, despite landing the CDC to the Liberian presidency as the commander of the once known mighty Blue Army. With the launch of his newest initiative, the Movement Stand, a rights advocacy organization, Molu has decided to go solo after resigning from his chairmanship post with the CDC, deciding to once again assume the voice of the voiceless in the Liberian society, and even beyond, as he intends to carry the torch of democracy across the ECOWAS region, yea, the African continent. With a strong advocacy credential, Molu said during the launch of his in his tenure The movement stand an advocacy group that he is elected to make a comeback as one of the voices of the Liberian masses at a time when the nation needs men of strong will and influence to stand up and protect the interests of the people. The movement's cardinal mission is to advocate for and uphold the values of democracy, good governance, justice, and accountability in Liberia. This includes empowering citizens to actively participate in the democratic process and holding elected officials accountable. In terms of vision, the movement stand aspires to create a society where democratic principles are upheld, governance is transparent and are responsive to the needs of the people, and justice is accessible to all citizens. Molu's movement also comes at a time when the issue of war and economic crimes court WECC, which he was once a strong proponent of, and the retrieval of stolen wealth through the newly launched Assets Recovery Initiative are high on the national agenda. Advocating for marginalized communities, irrespective of tribe, gender, religion, or location, is always a noble endeavor. The former CDC chairperson noted at the movement's launch over the weekend. This is the ethos behind the movement's theme, dedicated to championing the rights of the less fortunate and upholding the principles of justice. Stands for solidarity and trust for a new day, symbolizing our commitment to protecting the weak from the powerful and advocating for the rule of law, according to its founder. This is how we move quickly to another headline under the Daily Observer newspaper. CBL AfriLand First Bank pen MOU for currency exchange. CBL, that is the Central Bank of Liberia, AfriLand First Bank pen MOU for currency exchange. The Central Bank of Liberia has signed a memorandum of understanding with AfriLand First Bank to facilitate the currency exchange notes through the Rural Financial Community Institution in 8 of Liberia's 15 counties, including Lofa, Bong, River G, River Ses, Limba, Bapolu, and Sanu. The replacement of the old currency had been an other tax due to the poor road conditions in many parts of the country, especially during the rainy season as well as during the 2023 elections and the transition process. The event, attended by the managing director and staff of AfriLand First Bank Liberia Limited, underscored the shared commitment of both institutions to improving financial inclusivity. Governor J. Aloysius Talu emphasized the importance of collaboration, building upon a previous MOU signed 2 years ago with all commercial banks, which laid the groundwork for the currency exchange initiative. Today, we are here witnessing another event that is not only important but special. Special in the sense that the CBL is signing another MOU with AfriLand Bank for the exchange exercise through the Rural Community Finance Institution (RCFIs), which are the main and only formal financial institutions operating in the capital or strategic sites in 8 of our 15 counties, namely Nimba, Bapolu, Benku, River G, Riverses, Sano, Lofa, and Bong counties, said Governor Talu. This partnership reinforces the exclusive role of commercial banks and regulated financial institutions in currency exchange, ensuring accountability and transparency throughout the process. Governor Talu commended AfriLand for its support and partnership, noting the significance of its role in facilitating the exchange exercise, especially as the March 31, 2024 deadline for termination of legacy banknote approaches. New Down newspaper. So first Lastly, we love to acknowledge all of our viewers again who are watching us here in Yotopa and Abu Jalloway down in Grand Bassa County is following us. Thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate you a whole lot on this platform called the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. Government rebukes RIA, says Newtown newspaper. Government rebukes RIA. Australian expertise in renewable energy could benefit Africa, says African Development Bank of Liberia. Government rebukes RIA demands for 38 EPS officers inappropriate. Former President George Manu Weah's recent request for 38 officers of the Elite Presidential Protection Service for his personal protection has received a sharp reaction from the government of Liberia, with the new Minister of Information, Julimek Matthew Pierre, terming the request as totally inappropriate. In a sharp rebuke against former President George Weah's recent demand for additional Executive Protection Service (EPS) personnel, the Minister of Information, Cultural Affairs and Tourism, Jeremy Matthew Pierre, describes the move as totally inappropriate. Minister Pierre says President Weah rejected 8 EPS officers assigned to him by the government of Liberia because Mr. Weah, does not know them. Briefing reporters on Monday, March 18, 2024, in Monrovia, this occurred. In a sharp rebuke against former President Weah's recent demand for additional executive protection (EPS) personnel, the Minister of Information and Cultural Affairs rebuked this idea as a total inappropriate one. Briefing reporters on Monday, he revealed that Mr. Weah had instead requested an additional 38 EPS officers for his personal security. Still, the minister emphasized that there is no legal mandate that compels the government to provide security for former government officials. The ex-president's rejection of 8 EPS officers and the government's refusal to provide him with 38 officers, as requested by Mr. Weah, is making the former ruling CDC uneasy. Mr. Weah's Congress for Democratic Change Party has vowed to provide him with security. The government has clarified that although EPS authorities made recommendations in 2017 to protect past officials, no concrete legislative measures were implemented. In 2017, during the transition period, discussions were held to include provisions for protecting former leaders. However, the proposed Transitional Act did not materialize, leaving no legal framework for such actions, Minister Pierre recalls. Citing examples, Minister Pierre noted that former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf was initially assigned 15 EPS officers, but several officers withdrew, leaving her with only 7. He further mentioned former Vice President Waka, now president, who had 12 EPS officers initially, but the Weah government withdrew 3 of the officers. Regarding former President Weah's demand for 38 EPS officers, Minister Pierre clarified that the EPS leadership had informed him that such a request would not be fulfilled. He underscored that the assignment of EPS personnel falls under the discretion of President of Liberia, and that attempt to qualify his discretion in Transitional Act under the Allen administration were unsuccessful. So, folks, this is how we take a short break quickly. We are experiencing some technical defaults in studio. We take a short break. When we get back, I fill you in on the Newtown newspaper, Front Page Africa, and the Hot Paper newspaper. Kindly stay with me as I will be right back shortly.
Hello, dear. My name is K. Lyndon Toba. Hello, dear. My name is K. Lyndon Toba. Hello dear, my name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible informations of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello, Lyndon Topa. My name is Greg Courage Pa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Topo village community along the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
Wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top stories in our country and the world at large on Focal Online TV.
Okay, folks, welcome back. Welcome back to the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. We apologize for any inconvenience this week may have caused you. From Page Africa newspaper, Senator Mike Gill questioned attempt by executive to expend US 90 million outside of budget approval. Senator Mike Gill questions attempt by executive to expend US 90 million outside of budget approval. Margibi County Senator Nathaniel Michael has raised an alarm over attempt by the executive branch to expend the amount of US 21 million without any authorization from the national legislature. Senator Michael recalled that in February this year, the national legislature approved the amount of US 2 million to support President Joseph João Boaca's agenda to improve road conditions across the country. But surprisingly, he noted that executive, through the Ministry of Public Works, has already awarded contract worth US 21 million to various companies for the rehabilitation of roads across the country. He made the claims when he spoke to legislative reporters at his Capitol building office in Monrovia on Monday, March 18. Senator Michael pointed out that the move is in total violation of the Liberian Constitution and the amended and restated Public Procurement and Concession Commission (PPCC) Act. He made specific reference to Article 34D of the 1986 Liberian Constitution, which, among other things, states that no loan shall be raised or guaranteed without the authority of legislative enactment. The PPCC, among other things, placed emphasis on international and national competitive bidding process for contract sealing for procurement of goods, service, and works. He said the executive must disclose to the public the source of funding for the US 21 million Liberian 21 million US dollars. Disappointed Prince Johnson begins plot. disappointed Prince Johnson begins plot against Unity Party, signaling an early fallout with the regime. Disappointed Prince Johnson begins plot against Unity Party, signaling an early fallout with the regime. This is interesting. Amid the February 2023 election campaign, Joseph Human Boakai decision to align with Limba County Senator Prince Raj Johnson stirred apprehension. Many feared that Senator Johnson might wield excessive influence over the presidency, particularly with his godson Jeremiah Kwankum selected as Boakai's vice presidential candidate. This alignment even led to the great divide between Waka and his longtime ally Bernard Hewitt, who was vehemently opposed to Mr. Alexander Cummings of the ANC presidency in support of Waka's presidency. For Waka teaming up with the with the former rebel general turned politician and pastors was a top necessity for winning the presidential elections, as Senator Johnson could easily sway the majority of votes from his vote rich member towards the Unity Party. And indeed, Senator Johnson delivered. Nimba Waka obtained 74.14% of the votes in Nimba County. Unarguably, the Nimba votes captured him to the presidency. The trend of events during the election campaign revealed that Nimba County Senator had three motives for agreeing to support Waka after his fallout with the incumbent Ria. Senator Johnson fallout with Ria stemmed from his frustration with the regime during its later days when he could no longer exercise influence and carry out his usual pay for pay, for which he was sanctioned by the United States Department of Treasury. President Weah at the time became adamant on Senator Johnson's request, especially when his attempt to plug some kinsmen and women in specific government positions failed out. This is how we conclude with the hot pepper newspaper quickly. But if you're watching us far away from Liberia, we say good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and of course, we say thank you for following us here on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. This is where we bring innovation to broadcasting. This is where we bring informative information right to you only on Focal Online TV on this platform for the daily edition of Inside the Print Media. Sister Aid Liberia hosts one-day media engagement training. Sister Aid Liberia hosts one-day media engagement training. Sister Aid Liberia hosts one-day media engagement training. This is so interesting and it's from the Hot Pepper newspaper. Quickly, let's get to see what it is. Sister Aid Liberia, an organization operating in Liberia with most of its attention drawn towards women's rights among other issues, recently hosted a one-day media engagement training for journalists on the new Republic Health Law, which is before the Liberian Senate for occurrence. Journalists from a number of media institutions were trained on the importance of entire public health law at the national legislature. The purpose of the recent media gathering at Sister Aid Liberia was to have journalists involved in the awareness process of the new public health law. Journalists were taught to focus on the positive aspect of law. In recent time, the issue of abortion in the new public health law has taken central stage in the public space. The proposed public health law has over 50 pages, which covers every segment of the health sector of Liberia. At the end of one-day media engagement, journalists made the following recommendation: more awareness among regional and traditional leaders on sexuality education and policy engagement, community engagement with local stakeholders on the new health law, traumatizing on unsafe abortion, among others. This is how we bring our news presentation today to an end. Thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate you and we love you. And we do appreciate you being here with us from Monday to Friday. Happy pre-ladies night to all of the ladies out there. Don't forget, we will be having an interesting conversation on the Focal Women Talk, and it's going to be centered around women empowerment in rural areas. So please stay with me today as I'll be right back at 1 p.m. today. Thanks so much. I love you and I appreciate you being on this platform.
Hello, dear. My name is K. Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can